expect a win. I don't know, by knockout or submission. That's what I'm going to go for, but I expect 5-minute round of war at very high pace.
It is the one we have waited our entire lives for.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Arkansas and all over the world on KLRG880.com. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Craig Anthony in the house for the 5th round alongside the man, the myth, the legend,
Booyah!
Nathan Kirby.
Good morning.
What is up, brother?
This is going to be a packed show today.
Man, craziness. Craziness. 1 solid hour of insanity.
It's not enough.
It's not Linsanity, even though that's all over TV and news right now and stuff. That Jeremy Lin, what a beast. What a beast.
Linsanity.
Man, I love it. I love it. You know, the media never can leave somebody's name alone. They gotta come out and say something about it. Make some, at least he's not dating anybody. You're not gonna have him like, you know, dating some super hot supermodel. It'll be like Lynn something, you know, and he'll be like, ah, that's stupid.
Man. I just got a text message from Pat Miletich.
Wow.
I was gonna surprise you today, Craig, but I've got to let you down. He's in production, and he's going to be in production next Friday. But he's going to be on the air with us in the next 2 weeks. So
that is awesome.
Anyway, he's excited to come back to Arkansas again.
And on the 9th, I will tell everybody now, I got Budo Jake from Budo Videos.
Budo.
Yeah. You know, if everybody hasn't gone to BudoVideos.com, it is the place.
If you're an MMA fighter.
Well, there's a lot of our listeners don't really know, too, that, I mean, if you're getting into any martial art, you can buy your uniforms there, belts, training materials, watch live videos of tournaments.
No, I'm talking as a coach.
Oh, yeah.
You know, having a school, and then you got the guy coming in. Yeah, I'm a UFC fighter. Yeah. Where'd you train? Well, I had a couple videos. So anyway.
But hey, I'll tell you one thing. There's one video system that's actually out there that everybody. Here you go. You can go to the Gracie Academy.
Okay.
Go to the Gracie Academy, and they will train you by you get on their website and you sign up and you pay just like you would in a regular gym, and then you take your video of yourself doing your moves and stuff and you send it in. You will earn belts and tips and stuff. And it's crazy. Crazy.
Okay, so I'm going to be the devil's advocate.
Okay.
Okay, I got pros and cons with that. Pros and cons. One,
very much so.
That is amazing business for them to be able to reproduce themselves without being physically there. Having a physical studio. They produce a bunch of DVDs, and then you have to produce a work by turning in your videos. I get that. And I love the fact that they did, the one thing I do like is the fact that they have it marked, I think, at blue belt. You can only get up to a blue belt, correct?
No, and higher. It's a full system now.
Okay, well, before it was just a blue belt, and I know a couple just, you know.
But now there are requirements, though, beyond just the videos. I mean, you got to really get into it, because I'm pretty sure that you have to attend seminars. You have to do performance. It's not just as easy as it thinks, but it is. I mean, for those of us that train daily and live this completely, will you learn stuff from the videos? Yes. Do I sit there and watch YouTube videos and watch walkthroughs and guys showing moves that at the end of the night, I go into the gym and I like to try certain things all the time? Because there's moves you're going to learn by professionals online. If you're watching a Robert Drysdale video, well, he coaches differently than my
Cyborg.
Coach,
oh
than
my
Cyborg.
gosh, he's free.
Yeah. So the video thing, it's awesome. I dig it. I think it's cool. But
like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate,
exactly.
Craig.
Definitely. 100%.
I'm back and forth. You cannot substitute a real martial arts instructor. You can't substitute a real thing.
No way.
You can only watch a Karate Kid movie so many times and learn the crane technique, okay?
Exactly.
You can only learn the crane technique but you got to have Mr. Miyagi there to really teach you the fine points.
Well, exactly. And if you're working out in what they're calling Gracie garages, because you can do your garage. Now, I've watched videos. There was a guy out in California who literally, he did the green mat. He did everything in his garage to make it look like a miniature version of the Gracie Academy in Torrance, California, down to the mats. And it's cool.
But guess what?
But
it doesn't have any instructors.
No. You're watching a video, and what is it? Yeah, I'm a blue belt. Who are you training with? My kid brother who's 14 comes in and I beat the snot out of him. What are you doing? You're not pushing yourself and you're not learning, because who are you instructing with? I learned more getting on the mats and getting training with some brown belts and black belts and purple belts and stuff than I do watching a video. I can sit at home with my kid, and my kid is awesome in jiu-jitsu, but I'm not going to get pushed because he's 125 pounds and I outweigh him.
But you feel like a beast when you submit him, though.
Yeah. I am the dog, man, because he thinks he's bad till I lock in an inverted triangle on him.
I want to know what people think about this. I want people to call. I really want to know, because, we're going to have the normal person, and I don't know what normal is. I definitely don't fit that bill. But we're going to have the regular person call in who maybe even likes this. But then I'd like to hear from a coach and see what a coach says. I've got to wear different hats, so it's different for me as a promoter and a coach, and I'm also a publicist. I'm trying to promote through media. So I don't have just that, I'm a coach, this is my gym rules type of thing. So
phone lines are open, 492-5576. That's area code 501-492-5576. Got some international news. I got a bunch of MMA to go on. We've got huge stuff going on. BAMA, for anybody who doesn't know who BAMA is, British Association of Mixed Martial Arts. They've got a big event coming up March 24th, Birmingham, England. I would start going over some of these names, but most of you have never heard of half these guys.
Or can't pronounce them.
Or cannot pronounce them, because
try to pronounce that name, Craig.
Przemysław Madaslaya versus,
where'd you get a D?
Versus Jason Jones.
Now that one we can do.
I can do that.
They also got, what is it? It's BAMA 9, isn't it?
It is BAMA 9.
Clash of the Champions. Tom Watson, Jack Marshman. But Tom Watson, he's a world middleweight champion, and then Jack Marshman is from Lionsdale. He's from Britain. He is British. So a lot of people don't know over here in the States, the foreign fighters, unless they're on the bigger stage, which was
well, the bigger stages that used to Pride had good British fighters.
I miss Pride.
That we miss Pride. There are some British fighters. I mean, probably the biggest known British fighter right now is probably going to be Michael Bisping.
Boo! Let's not even talk about him on this radio station.
But everybody remembers there was a Ultimate Fighter season that had British fighters versus American fighters,
UK.
which is a great US Ultimate Fighter. Now, but another big thing, I'm going to call this international because it is not here in the United States tomorrow night. UFC 144, Frankie Edgar, Benson Henderson.
That's a fight.
For the lightweight championship of the world in Tokyo, Japan, the Saitama Super Arena, tomorrow night on pay-per-view.
We're going to the next Japan fight.
Sure.
We will go there and we will cover it live.
I'm down 100%. If they let me into the country. They go, oh, you
They'll
get that
look
fat
at me
man.
and say, Godzilla! Godzilla! I love it.
So we got huge
fight card.
Frankie Edgar, Ben Henderson for the title. You got Quentin Rampage Jackson versus Ryan Bader. Ooh, love that fight. Mark Hunt, Czech Congo. Battle of some big dogs right there.
That's going to be a great fight.
Akiyama, Sexyama right there going against Jake Shields.
That's going to be a pretty good fight, but we'll definitely have to talk through this. I'm excited about J-Lo and Pettis, Showtime. I'm a huge Pettis fan. All right, let's start at the bottom. The prelims are going to be on FX tomorrow. Okay, so all of our listeners out there, let's make sure that we tune in and we watch this. The prelims are on FX. What's really cool is I've got this on my Xbox 360. Can you believe that? So I'm going to Naga's tomorrow, Oklahoma City. We're going tonight. Weigh-ins are tonight. So whoever out there is heading to Naga, I'll see you guys there. And then I'm hoping to be home. I drive pretty fast, so I'm really hoping to be home in time so I can get home, turn on my TV, watch the UFC on the Xbox 360 on my big screen, through the Xbox. I'm
That's
pumped
awesome.
about that. I don't know.
That's technology today. Now our video games are not just for gaming entertainment. It's for watching movies and TV and all that good stuff.
I know. I'm not a techie. Master Smith, Sean Smith, he's a techie. He tried to keep me up when I was working with him. He tried to keep me up to date. So now my son's trying to.
That's funny because my 11-year-old tries to keep me up on that and tells me about different phones that are coming out. I'm sitting with last year's iPhone here thinking I'm Billy Cool over here, and no, I'm not.
All right, here we go. So let's talk about one of the prelims. Let's talk about one of my favorite former Pride fighters turned UFC fighter, and that is Takanori Gomi.
Gomi.
Yeah, there's a lot of Gomi fans out there. Takanori Gomi, he's had 20 some fights, 21 fights. Well, he's got more than that. He's 32-8. Here it is right here. His nickname is the Fireball Kid. He's from Kanagawa, Japan. Fights out of Tokyo. He's 33 years old. 32-8.
It's a lot of fighting.
Man, he's a great fighter.
That's a lot of fighting.
So I'm excited to see him fight. All right, let's go to the main card.
Pettis. Lozon.
Who are you calling?
Lozon.
You are?
I am.
By?
Lozon by submission, rear naked choke.
Okay. I assume that's what was going to happen, and I know that's what he wants to do, okay? But my pick, of course, I'm biased, and I try to stay unbiased. But looking at highlight videos, okay, I mean, that's our study, right? We try and study these fighters. Our study is watching these highlight videos, and you get a good little insight of these people. I see that he's going to catch him. I think I'm going Pettis, knockout.
But you're not going to call the jumping off the cage flying kick to the face like you did to Ben Henderson, though.
No. But I am going to predict. Okay, here's my prediction. He will do at least one butterfly kick from this fight. He's going to do a butterfly kick, and I'm even going to put it out there that he's going to do a hand-planted kick from his back. Like he's going to be on his back, he's going to try and get up, and he's going to do a cartwheel kick from his back. So the number one, I know he's going to do a butterfly kick.
And I watched of course, studying Anthony Pettis. He studies that guy. He trains that stuff. If you watch the WEC fight when he fought Ben Henderson and he runs up totally something out of the Matrix and he jumps up, bounces off the wall.
That was an amazing fight.
Kicks him in the head and just about knocked him out with that kick. They practice that.
Yeah.
Now how many gyms really practice? All right, we're going to do this flash and dash. I don't know any personally where we're going to practice that move.
And we haven't even seen his depth. You know, we really haven't because he's so new. He's fairly new. He was a massive WEC champion, and I just think it was a mistake for him to take on Clay Guida. He should have just waited for his shot. He was supposed to fight the winner of Gray Maynard and Frankie Edgar. That's who he was supposed to fight. Then it came to a draw. Then they rematched, and so in the meantime, he had nobody to fight, and so he accepted this fight with Clay Guida. What happened? Clay Guida laid on him. Okay, and that just, again, I just cannot stand that style of fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing happened. There is not hardly any damage being done. I just hate that. Come on, man. We're going to fight. Let's fight. Let's go.
Exactly.
Man, it just bothered me.
How many street fights ever happen where everybody like, I'm going to take you down, but I'm just going to lay there? No, we're going to stand there. We're going to bang. Let's throw down.
I'm not a hater of Clay Guida. I got to watch him live. I met him up in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Great fighter.
Great fighter. I really want him to shave his head. I'm telling you. That's again, that's I'm still a fan. I'm a big UFC fan, and he just, man, he annoys me. It gets annoying, but he's there, not me. All right, what's next on the card?
Okami. Boach.
Yeah, I've got Boach has great wrestling, so that's who my pick is.
Boach is such a stepping stone fighter, and it's really hard for me to call that fight because he is a beast. And if Boach is on, he's on.
Right.
If Okami comes in with a game and Boach is off of his game by the slightest amount, Okami can take this fight. But I will, by a slight advantage, give it to Boach. Slight advantage.
How?
I big hand. I think he's gonna go for a ground and pound technique.
Yeah,
take him
I
down.
say TKO.
Yeah.
That's
Referee
mine.
stoppage. I think it might go to the second round.
He's a big 85.
He is. Well, he came down. I mean, he's fought at 205s in the past, and he's down to one. He's fighting the one big 185. Now I'm saying right now, the evolution of fighters at the last Kingdom Promotions fight, some of them 170s and 185 guys looked massive.
Okay, well let's talk about that. Joe Waller, Justin Healy,
Huge.
Those were two of the biggest 185. Those were the 170s.
Yeah. Now I'm a 225-pound guy.
They
I
were
fight
as
at
big
205,
as you,
and they
Craig.
were as big as I am.
And that was an amazing fight too. That was a good fight, man. The
Huge.
banging, Justin just combinations looked great. I mean, just boom, boom, boom. I think he broke his foot kicking Joe. That was a great fight.
Hayoki Palazuski.
Huh?
Hayoki versus Palazuski on the main
That's
card.
Bart
On it.
Palashevsky.
Palashevsky. I'm not Polish.
Do you remember, you know who is Bart's background? Yeah, he's Polish. Bart's background. Bart, he was in the World Combat League. He came out of the World Combat League, if I remember right. Man, you have to look that up.
That's a tough fight.
Man, there's another
It's
kid
one to
that
call.
came out of there. Man, he's a young kid. He was.
And I love watching some of the Japanese fighters, some of the Korean fighters, guys that are coming up. But I'm yet to watch any of them now with the high level of athleticism of the fighters in the UFC and around the world. I'm waiting to see one of them come up and take a title. Because some of them come up and you think, oh man, this could be the next guy coming out of Japan or something. Oh, is he? But then he just isn't there. I would have thought Akiyama would have been a really great contender to come up for a 185 title, but just didn't. I think he's a great fighter. I think that he's a great stepping stone. I think he needs about 4 good, solid finishing wins in a row to even go for a title shot. But I'm really hoping tomorrow night highlights a lot of the really, really good fighters from across the seas. I really do. Because there's fighters around the world that we have not heard of that can be massive. I'm glad that the UFC is doing an Ultimate Fighter in Australia and in Brazil, and I think they're doing one in Japan and China. I mean, they're going to go around the world with this.
Yeah, they're in Brazil right now.
And doing Brazil, I think it's going to be awesome because, yeah, there are phenomenal fighters around the world that we just might not hear about because Dana White hasn't had a chance to have lunch in the middle of Taipei, wherever he's going to be able to find great fighters at. He uses guys. I'll tell you right now, when I spoke to Royce Gracie, Royce's big role right now that he does for the UFC is as he's traveling around the world, he looks at fighters. And he's sitting there kind of as, picking up guys here and there. If he sees someone who's got really good potential, he'll give Dana White a call and say, hey, check this guy out. And I'm pretty sure there's quite a few guys out there that are doing that, just speculating and checking them out. But I think it's also the job of some of these promoters, if they have the opportunity and they've got phenomenal fighters, to be able to spotlight some of them and get some of these guys. If you're a local guy and you know you're going to be a local promoter and only a local promoter and not really have the intentions to grow much bigger than local, if you got a great fighter, don't hold them back. If they have an ability to go on to Bellator, Strikeforce, something like that, help them. I mean,
hey, why don't we? You got his number? Let's get him on the phone right now. Since we're talking about local fighters, we're going to get a local fighter on the phone who's up and coming. So, and what's funny right now is he's out fishing. He's out fishing right now. So, anyway, like Craig was saying, let's talk about Kingdom Promotions. Kingdom Promotions, yeah, it's a local Arkansas show. We bring in fighters from out of state. We have a lot of local fighters. What is the focus of this show? It's going to be a launching board. It's a stepping stone for these fighters. I'm really hoping that this is going to be a venue for these fighters that are up and coming, who's training every day, who is just sacrificing so much to one day step inside of this cage, to become a champion. From here, then step inside of Bellator. Step inside the King of the Cage. step inside of the UFC, step inside of Strikeforce. That's what we're hoping. We want to groom these fighters here locally. So we're going to get a local fighter on the phone, Thomas, the Young Lion Gifford. He just come off of an awesome submission victory at the Valentine's Massacre. We're going to get him on the phone. I cannot wait to get our website up and running for the 5th round. I can't wait to get Kingdom Promotions website up and running. I want to do a poll. You know, everybody's talking about that rematch. So we're going to get Thomas Gifford. Thomas, is he on the phone?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
Are you fishing?
Well, I came home so I could get good service.
You're Southern, aren't you? Like, is that Sheridan?
No, I'm more back in the backwoods, towards in the middle of Malvern and Poen.
I'm more back in the backwoods. That's funny.
On the phone, ladies and gentlemen, right now, Thomas, the Young Lion Gifford. First off, sir, congratulations on that win a couple weeks ago. I was doing the play-by-play for that in awesome action. Good job.
Thank you.
Dead air. Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there he is. Are you sure you got good service?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, you got to turn your radio down. You got me?
Got you.
Okay, here we go. I want to talk to you about this fight real quick. We did a poll with the fans, and so tell me break down that fight for us that you had February 11th against David Lindsay. Break that fight down for us.
Well, I went in there with a stick and move, and then before the fight, I kept hearing some back talk about David Lindsay, and everybody from West Side told me I had a glass chin, and they told me that they could knock me out, piece of cake, one right hand, it'd be easy. So I went in there to slug with David Lindsay to show them that I didn't have a glass chin. Pretty much is what I did. And then he hit me hard, and yeah.
I lost you, buddy. Okay, well, we've got to get a hold of Thomas again. Craig's going to try and see if he's on there. Craig, if you get back in, or Thomas, if you get back in, call us back if you can. We lost Thomas. Yeah, we lost Thomas. So anyway, what I wanted to ask him was about the big old rematch that's set. It's April 14th in Hot Springs, and he is fighting David Lindsay again. This was my 2 cents. I don't think he needs to fight him again. I think David needs to fight somebody. He needs to win somebody big, somebody huge, a big name, one of the biggest 55 name that we can find in the state, and beat him. Thomas needs to fight somebody and then build up that rematch. I understand for both of them. Thomas has the confidence. He wants to fight him again, so fight him again. David hates to lose. Who doesn't? I want to rematch anybody that I ever lost to. Thomas, are you back?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before you finish your story, tell me why you decided to take a rematch within 2 days of fighting David Lindsay and beating him the first time. Why are you doing a rematch already?
Well, I know that when I lost Eli McLaughlin for my first time, I wasn't prepared for that fight, and I wasn't ready for that kind of challenge. And he gave me a rematch, and David reminded me of that the night of that fight. Right afterwards, he called me and told me about it. And I know how it feels to lose and want a rematch. I still want a rematch with Michael Cordell, but nobody's heard of him in a while.
Oh, wow.
So that it really doesn't matter to me anymore. But I know how David felt, and his hometown was there. And if he wants a rematch, he'd be a good challenge to give a rematch.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to hear it from you. All right, finish your story. You wanted to stand and bang. They said you had a glass jaw. You wanted to show everybody that you could still. I mean, you're a great boxer. I mean,
yeah, and
were you threatened by that in any means?
I wasn't threatened at anything. It's just people will challenge me to do stuff, and I have a pretty stubborn head, so I went in there to prove everybody wrong.
Okay.
And then I try to be like, everybody's always like, oh, you can tap people out. You never took anybody down. So I tried to take down. You see that didn't work. I need some work on that. And so when I got side mount, it went straight to my game.
Right.
And he tried to take mount, and I seen it coming before he even done it. But when I flipped him over, I was like, stand up and I'm going to re-box him. And that's when I knocked him down, was when I actually started boxing.
Right.
And then I wasn't going to jump on him because Jimmy Van Horn tried to fake me in like that, and he's been training with Jimmy Van Horn. And I don't like going to the ground right after you rock somebody because they're more aware of what they're doing.
Right.
Because when I get knocked down, I'm more aware of what's coming. So I did the unexpected, and I told him to get up.
Okay, so let me. You have an awesome dad. You know, your dad's amazing, and he is like your manager. And you know, that's a tough situation to be in. I'm gonna step in and be your dad for a second. Do me a favor. In the future, no matter what people say to you, no matter what people talk about, fight your game, because it's all about the big W. No matter what anybody says at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, your victory means more than proving that you don't have a glass jaw or proving that you have more than just submissions. I understand, I'm a guy, I know how that works, but I'm just saying, it's going to come down to it. You're going to have to stick to your game, and you have an amazing game, so don't listen to everybody. So that's just my daddy talking. I'm talking now. Okay, so what do you predict real quick before we've got to get somebody else on the line, Thomas? So you got April 14th coming up. What else you got coming up?
I got a boxing match March 16th in Louisiana, and then I got a fight like 3 weeks after that in Louisiana.
A pro MMA fight?
In April. Yes, sir.
Before April 14th?
Yeah.
You're fighting 1 week before you're fighting David Lindsay?
Yeah, it's a pro boxing match.
Okay, so you have 2 boxing matches. Mm-hmm. Okay. Boxing's a little bit different. So are you going to do a lot more boxing, or are you going to try and focus strictly MMA?
I'm just doing both right now, just because I love boxing. I still want to do it like on the side and stuff. I don't want to get major big bucks in it or major high time on TV and stuff. I just like to do it because doing it is totally 2 different challenges at once.
Yeah.
When I'm boxing, it's hard to keep my feet down.
Yeah, you know, I was training Kim Hamby for a big pro MMA fight, and so as she's training for this MMA fight, she had fought. It went 3 rounds to a decision in Cabot. She had a boxing match coming up, and she went, gosh, I can't even remember, maybe 5 rounds with this girl in Jacksonville, and she told me afterwards that she's done training MMA if she's going to have a boxing match, because she kept squaring up on this girl like she was going to throw a round kick. And for Kim to even say that she was going to throw a round kick, that's hilarious. But anyway, all right, Thomas, listen, man, you know we're all big fans of you here. You've got a great support here in the state of Arkansas. No matter where you go, no matter what kind of show you're going to be on, you're going to have a fan base. And so I'm going to tell everybody right now, try and find Thomas on Facebook. Thomas, the young lion Gifford. Support this young kid as he comes up through the ranks here in Arkansas, as he continues his reign of MMA domination. And let's watch him get on to Bellator. Let's watch him get on to Strikeforce and UFC. I think we need to we need to support these local guys. Thomas, thanks a lot for going on.
You're welcome.
Keep fighting tough, brother.
Yes, sir.
Have a great day.
You know, I want to talk about Ryan Bader, Rampage Jackson. Your call?
Ryan Bader.
Yeah.
Now, and I am going to be biased for big reasons.
Wow. Okay.
Arizona State. Arizona State. That's what I got to say. Arizona State.
Yeah.
No, Ryan Bader, that guy is, oof.
Okay.
But here's what's going to happen. Bader is definitely not a stupid man. And everybody will always know that one thing you never want to do with the one and only Rampage Jackson is stand there and trade punches with him.
Yep.
Rampage will knock you into the next week. if he has a chance to.
Right hook, right uppercut. That's
Straight
right
up.
uppercut, right hook.
If he utilizes it, and now there's one thing that he doesn't utilize enough that I think it gets underestimated is Rampage Jackson has leg kicks for days. His kicks are so underestimated because a lot of times he kind of gets that attitude, I'm going to come in here and I can just throw dukes.
Yeah.
And guys want to throw blows with him. Rampage is a dangerous, dangerous fighter when Rampage utilizes all of his tools. I don't think he does sometimes, and I think he's got a little bit of he doesn't have much of a ground game, I don't think.
No?
I think it's there, but it's never shown. We know Ryan Bader's going to be smart. He's going to do what? He's going to come in there. He's going to shoot for a takedown and take this down to his level.
I'm going to tell you what I predict. I predict Ryan Bader is going to box Rampage Jackson to prove, just like what did we just talk about? Thomas Gifford, same thing. He's going to prove to everybody else that he's got hands until he gets outboxed and outclassed, because Jackson he's got a rock solid chin and he's going to swing for the fences.
He will.
And so that's when Ryan Bader, if he gets tested and if he gets beat on that, that's when he's going to go to his wrestling, and his wrestling is going to be far superior. So there is a poll up. I don't remember which website it was on. I saw this yesterday. There's a poll up on a website. How many times Ryan Bader is going to take down Rampage Jackson?
Well, but there's a big question too. If you're Ryan Bader, what's it going to take for you to end up going and shooting in? Because with the power of Rampage, it only takes one. It only takes one right hook, one hard shot to actually knock you down.
Listen, I don't think he's got a strong enough camp. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been pushed hard enough over there. It's a wolf's lair, okay? That's my opinion. I just don't think he's getting enough people to push him. That's what I think Brock Lesnar's biggest downfall was. He's got these chumps, and one of the guys, he's a submission grappling wrestler guy. He's amazing. Eric Paulson, he's amazing.
He is.
But the guys, they were not bringing guys in tough enough, well-rounded enough to put Brock into a position that Carwin, that Dos Santos, that Gabriel, I mean, these big,
Kane.
huge UFC fighters are going to be able to. And so here's who's coming in, who they bringing in to emulate Ryan Bader, who can come in and train with Rampage and
That's
emulate.
205 and All-American.
Yeah.
Who can really emulate. Exactly.
I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you when it happened. I remember Rampage Jackson coming in from Pride, making his way into the UFC, and I remember one interview, and it was against Chuck Liddell. And everybody's a huge Iceman fan, but I was a Pride fan, so I was already a Rampage Jackson fan. Listen, all he asked was, where's mine? Where's my money? Where's my ride? Where's my whip? And, man, I'm telling you, from that moment on, I've only looked at him as a commodity. That's it. I see him how Dana White sees him. Remember when he left and went to the A-Team? And
He did.
made that movie, and so he got kicked out of UFC, and there was all this crazy stuff and all this drama. I just don't think he's focused where he needs to be, and he's going to lose this fight. So I've already got dibs.
Bader.
Bader.
All day.
All right, here we go. Main event before we move on. We don't have much time. We got to get another caller on the line. We got to get another. We didn't talk about the heavyweights.
Hunt Congo.
Congo. Who do you got?
Congo.
By
First round knockout.
TKO. Yeah, I got a TKO. I don't think he's going to knock him out, but, and again, everybody's underestimates Congo's ground, says he doesn't have it. You don't get this far in that division in the UFC unless you're well-rounded. You don't get that far.
Congo's athleticism, he's a freak of nature. Period. He's so strong. I think he's gonna be a lot stronger than Hunt. I think he's more athletic. I think he's gonna be faster. He's gonna have better cardio.
Yeah.
And I think he's just got an all-around, a more well-rounded game.
Yeah. I'm not canceling out Hunt at all. Listen, he's got a huge, long history, big background. I think his cardio is underrated because of his body. You see that, you think of Roy Nelson type of thing,
Bigger guy.
Yeah, he's a bigger guy. He's got extra body fat on him. Check Congo. Chuck Congo, I hung out with him at an after party, not the name drop or anything like that. This dude is a monster. I mean, he's a monster. He's a big dude. 6'6". I think he's 6'6". He's
very
jacked.
soft-spoken. Very nice guy.
Very, very nice guy. All right, here we go.
Headline. Here we go.
Here we
there
go.
you go. Main card.
Frankie.
The answer.
Edgar versus Smooth. What do you say?
Henderson.
What do you say?
I'm going to go with Henderson.
Really? I am too.
I'm going for Henderson. I'm not going for Henderson. I'm going to say Henderson. I think his reach advantage is going to come into play. I think his wrestling background is going to come into play. I don't think he's going to want. He knows. Don't stand with Frankie Edgar. Edgar has lightning hands. He hits hard. He hits fast.
That he
but
does.
Henderson is the biggest 155er walking around today. He is massive at 155.
So was Maynard. Maynard was a big 55 compared to Edgar, and it didn't bother him at all. He got rocked. Man, that was an amazing fight, though. Their first fight was unbelievable.
I think Henderson's going to utilize kicks a lot.
Yeah.
He's going to throw a lot of good head kicks. I think he will overwhelm Frankie Edgar. And I think at the very end of the day, Ben Henderson will win this fight in the second round.
Okay, calling out the round.
And that's it. And it's going to be, it's going to have to be, I will say, by a submission. I'm going on a limb.
Submission.
Ben Henderson's going to submit Frankie Edgar.
Okay, I can see that because he's got some crazy guillotines.
He does. Massive. He'll do a jump guard into a guillotine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but so does Anthony Pettis. Did the same thing. So, all right. Do we need to take a break? We need to take a break,
We're
guys.
going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with the fifth round right here on KLRG 880 94.5 and streaming around the world at KLRG880.com. Kickskin, the premier MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gear company in the world today, is now the official fight gear of me, Craig Anthony, and my show, The Fifth Round. Since 1994, Kickskin has brought to the world the best in Jiu-Jitsu gis, fight short, rash guards, the original #1 rated Vale Tudo glove, men's and women's apparel, and much, much more. Christine Cyborg Santos, Matt Serra, Kendall Grove, and Ben Henderson are all part of the Kickskin family, and you can be too. Call today at 888-KIK-SKIN. That's 888-545-7546. Or go to kickskinmartialarts.com to get the gear that the pros use. Kickskin. Are you ready to learn the greatest, most effective martial art in the world? Do you want to get in shape like you never have before? Are you searching for the champion inside of you? Then look no further than Nemesis Jiu-Jitsu. Hi, I'm Craig Anthony, host of the Fifth Round here on KLRG, and I want to tell you all about Nemesis Jiu-Jitsu. Located at 5200 JFK in North Little Rock, Nemesis Jiu-Jitsu is your premier Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. With champion instructors and a winning team, you can achieve all of your fitness and martial arts goals. Danny Cooper and Matt Smith are two of the top jiu-jitsu instructors in the state of Arkansas and will train you to be a champion. Nemesis offers jiu-jitsu classes for kids, adults, as well as MMA training at its finest. Is it time that you made a choice to change your life? Give Nemesis Jiu-Jitsu a call today at 501-420-4827. That's 501-420-4827. Nemesis Jiu-Jitsu. Come train with the best. KLRG 880 AM, 94.5 FM.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Be prepared to be tapped out with MMA news right here on KLRG. And we're back right here on the fifth round. Well, Nathan's on the phone right now trying to get our next guest because he didn't answer when I called. I guess I'm not loved. Well, we did cover tomorrow night's UFC 144 Edgar versus Henderson event. I've got some other show stuff to talk about real quick. We've got coming up Strikeforce Saturday night, March 3rd on Showtime with the Women's Bantamweight Championship. That's going to be Champ Misha Tate versus Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Huge night. Paul Daly going to be on that card. Josh Thompson versus KJ Noons. Sarah Coppin versus Alexis Davis. So we got a couple of female fights on that card that night. So make sure you're going to be tuning in. We're going to definitely be covering that next week, especially with the big, huge stuff with Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey. That's been all over the online, on the website stuff. Ronda Rousey's a beast. My money was going to go to Ronda Rousey on that fight. Rousey is 4-0. Champ Miesha Tate, I think, is going to get outplayed that night. I'm going to have to put it on Rousey. She is a judo black belt. She's trained with everybody up at the camp with Nick and Nate Diaz, and I think she's going to completely come in and dominate Miesha Tate. Now, there is a fight that has been scratched that is on that card, and that's going to be due to failed medicals. It's going to scratch the Brunson versus Jacare fight for that Strikeforce in Columbus. The main card middleweight matchup between Derek Brunson and Renato Jacare Souza has been nixed from the Strikeforce Tate versus Rousey fight card planned for March 3rd. Brunson later took to his Twitter account and clarified the situation, and he said that he failed Ohio's medical requirements due to an eye examination, although he's never been an issue for him in the past. Now, Scott Coker did say that Jacare would remain on the card with a search for an opponent right now underway.
That's just going to be hard for him to fill at this juncture. It's
so
gonna be
close. You're asking somebody to basically come in and not just fill a fight in 2 weeks, but you're going to have to come in there and fight Jacare, who was the champ. And Jacare, if you're unfamiliar with who Jacare Souza is, check him out on YouTube. You will watch one of the baddest dudes to ever step on a jiu-jitsu mat. He's won Abu Dhabi. He's won Mundials. He is huge. And so that fight, I'm really good looking to see who they're going to feed up to him, because that's going to be, you got to have some, let's say, something brass in your pants if you think you're going to step in with Jacare.
That's a good way to put it, my friend.
Another big signing that happened this week, Jason Mayhem Miller is now going to be signed to face, he's signed now to face CB Dalloway.
I'm excited about that fight.
Added to the UFC 146 in Las Vegas, this according to MMAJunkie.com. As expected, the Ultimate Fighter 14 coach Jason Mayhem Miller will get another shot at the UFC. Officials announced a couple days ago that the veteran middleweight has verbally agreed to meet CB Dalloway at UFC 146 on Memorial Day weekend. UFC 146 place is May 26th in Las Vegas, likely at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, with the heavyweight headliner between champion Junior Dos Santos and top contender Alistair Overeem. One more big signing that just happened yesterday. Nate the Great Marquardt has signed with Strikeforce. He is now back with the Zuffa family. Less than a year after his departure from the UFC, Marquardt has signed a new deal with Strikeforce to compete in their middleweight division. The announcement was made via UFC on Tuesday on Fuel TV. According to the report, Marquardt has signed a multi-fight deal with Strikeforce, and he will compete at 170 pounds this year. And that's all I've got right now.
Well,
I've got more news, but you got two.
I think the Strikeforce, everybody keeps asking me how long is Strikeforce going to exist before they get swallowed up like the WEC.
I don't think it will, though, because, and this is why. The UFC has a stable of approximately 300 fighters right now. Huge, in all weight divisions. You have to have a minor league, but the Strikeforce can be a minor league that is almost to the level of the UFC, where it's right there. Your minor leagues can be just as exciting as your majors, and it brings it to that level. The minor leagues, such as the Kingdom Promotions groups, Cage Fighters, all these, I mean, there's a ton of them. I've got a list of them around the country. They are there, but they're not getting the coverage. Now, Nathan does a phenomenal job working with some of the local stations about getting the good coverage in Arkansas, and hopefully it's going to continue to grow. Right. I look forward to seeing stuff on HDNet Fights and a lot of these, maybe even ESPN down the road.
I tried getting Guy Mesgers on the phone this morning. He's just real busy, but I'm trying to hook up with him so we can get HDNet Fights here in Arkansas again. We had them here in October when we had Forrest Griffin here at one of the fights. So I'm trying to get a deal set up with HDNet, but you know, our fights, I really want to get these fights local. I want them to stream, even if we only stream the first 4 or 5 fights on Facebook. You know, at least that's something we can do. We've got some people working on our media in our marketing right now for Kingdom Promotions. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, Nathan and I talked about doing something that we hope really turns out really well, because right now I'm ready for 3 minutes of fury, sir. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Okay.
I even got something here.
You're going to stump me. Oh, he's got a dinger. Okay.
I got a dinger.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's what it is. We got 3 minutes. Back and forth. You're going to hear this stuff between, you're going to get Nathan's opinion. You're going to get my opinion. He's got questions for me that I have no clue what they are. And he's got questions for me. Sadly, we kind of covered one of the questions that I have.
Right.
But it's okay. We'll get to this real quick. And I'm ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Ryan Bader versus Rampage. Who wins and how?
Ryan Bader, TKO.
Wow, don't even need for the 15 seconds. Go ahead.
No, okay. I've got a big one, though. I'm going to dump it off right now.
Shoot.
Dana White. Tyrant?
No.
Why?
Marketing genius. Period. I do not believe in people saying that, oh, well, he's cornering the market, he's doing this. You know what? Don't care. Look at Microsoft. If they run you out of the business, it means you're just a bigger, better, badder dude.
Yeah, good bill on that.
Nick Diaz has marijuana card. Suspension still, or get rid of pot as a performance-enhancing drug?
Well, first of all, I'm not a smoker. Pot is not a performance-enhancing drug. Okay? It's just not. It can't enhance anything except your stupidity. Ding.
UFC has now added flyweights. Does it need a super heavyweight division?
No, because that is just going to. How many guys do you know that are over 265 pounds that aren't a big old bunch of fat guys that aren't on steroids?
Very few.
Okay, so no, super heavyweight's stupid. Are you done fighting, Craig?
Wow.
We could talk the talk, baby.
No.
Okay, I just called you out.
You did.
Okay.
Wow.
You're saying, yeah, I got to work on my family. I got to focus on my career.
Dude.
Blah, 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 blah.
Craig's not done. I compete next month.
No, I'm talking about
but
cage.
MMA.
Cage. In the cage.
I still have an answer in a week and a half.
Okay.
Nate the Great Marquardt in Strikeforce. Will he see the UFC again if he wins a championship?
Yes. Yes, he was a big name. He was on everybody's radar when he was coming up. I think it was a mistake that he was dropped in the first place. Forrest Griffin, wash up, has been, or will he be back?
Done. Last fight will be against Tito Ortiz.
Really?
Cancel them both. We got a caller.
Okay, well, I don't know.
KLR,
I've been able to have the privilege of meeting both of those men. I will refrain from my opinion on their personalities, even though Tito Ortiz was a pretty cool guy in person. So hopefully we can get Tito Ortiz here back in Arkansas. What do you got?
Invicta. If you haven't read about it, all women's MMA. Will it grow as big as Strikeforce or Bellator?
Yes, if it's marketed correctly. But if it's marketed as a female-dominant, female-only girl power, you will lose the support of the dominant male in this industry. You can't do all women, okay? Just like everybody's trying to lobby to get UFC to have women. Well, they're saying we don't need to have women because we have the Strikeforce for that. So there's a place for it. So if you have an all-women's MMA show, man, that's great. But I think you're going to limit.
We're out of time for the 3 minutes of fury. I think we went about 5. It does.
No, 3 minutes is good. Everybody's like,
because I had one other one that I was going to shoot right at you. I'm going to ask it anyways. Do you think NAGA BJJ tournament will ever come to Arkansas?
I was just talking about this, okay? So, we talk dirty truths. This is what media is. No, I think Arkansas has a crap attitude. And unless we come together, all of us, stop patting ourselves on the back, stop fighting with everybody else, stop talking about and backbiting. If we can come together, absolutely.
Mike Wessel on the phone.
Let's go, Mike.
What's going on, fellas? How you doing today? Sorry
Good,
I missed you earlier. I was with new clients. You can't turn down money when it's at the door.
No, I absolutely agree. Listen, okay, so I told everybody I was hoping to bring you on when we were talking about Czech Congo, and we're talking about the heavyweight. So I wanted to bring on a local heavyweight. I want to ask you a question. So you're an Ultimate Fighter alumni.
Yeah.
You are a UFC veteran. Have you fought in the UFC? Was that 2 times or 3 times?
2.
2 times in the UFC. In your experience in the Ultimate Fighter, okay, let's go behind the scenes. So first of all, let's just let the cat out of the bag, okay? What's the big news that you wanted to tell everybody? Let's talk about let's let the cat out of the bag today, right now.
The big news I would tell about myself or about the Ultimate Fighter?
About you. About
me? Well, I have 2 things. I'll be on pay-per-view fighting on the James Toney card, and then I'll be I'm having a son. So.
Oh, hey! Yeah. Congratulations, Daddy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wessel. You're gonna have a baby juggernaut.
A little juggernaut. That'll be hilarious.
Okay, so the big round I'm talking about is a lot of people don't know this. You're done fighting MMA.
Yeah, I'm done.
Done. I mean, so we're not going to say I'm done, then I'm coming back, Brett Favre. We're going to say I'm done.
No, I'm done.
Man,
here's the thing.
That's brave.
It was interesting about your comment about Naga a second ago. There's so many great camps and so many great places in Arkansas.
Agreed.
There's how many champions came from Arkansas at Naga and the Dallas and everywhere else, even in Columbus, Ohio, when people went. People from Arkansas represent well. However, it's pandemonium between the athletic commission, between everything. It's just, my head hurts from MMA.
Yes,
and,
sir.
It's one of those things where I don't have the training partners where I'm at right now without having to go 2-3 hours as far as big guys. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And I've got to spend $80-90 to drive there and back, and 6 hours in driving to get an hour and a half of rolling time and everything. So it's just not there for me. A lot of the other stuff with different things. As far as MMA around here locally and everything else, and
drama.
I mean, not about where I'm at in this part of St. Jonesboro and everything. It just kind of disgusts me how, like they're doing exhibition fights with pros versus other people, that have never fought. Pros are fighting in exhibitions against guys that have never fought before.
That should be illegal.
Yeah, I don't want to be part of it. I don't want my name attached to anything. I don't want to, it's not a negative to you or negative to Rolly or a negative to, Memphis BJJ, Dave Ferguson up in there. And it's just, I'm okay. I know when to step away. I've been a pro athlete and playing professional football and have been a strength coach. I just know when it's time for me to step back without getting angry and speaking my voice,
Yeah.
So I'm done with MMA. I moved on to boxing. It's something I can control and do on my own, and I'm enjoying it. I'm very successful. I just beat a local guy there. He was ranked number 36 at cruiserweight in the U.S. From Little Rock. I won against him. These boxing matches I'm not supposed to win. I'm just doing it for fun now. I'm enjoying my life, and but no, I'm not going to pull the Favre. I'm done with MMA.
Okay.
You'll never see me fight again.
Well, I appreciate you telling everybody here in Arkansas what's going on. I wish you the best. Congratulations on having a son.
Thank you.
Good luck on this upcoming boxing match. You're fighting on the James Toney card. When and where is that at?
That is in at the DeSoto Landers Center in South Haven, Missouri, or South Haven, Mississippi. Excuse me.
Okay. When is this?
April 7th.
Okay, April 7th, and then this is pay-per-view?
That's pay-per-view, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Mike Wessel, thank you so much for getting on the air. I had a few other questions. We're just running out of time. We got a caller on the line. So, Mike, we'll get you on the phone another time. Good luck in your upcoming fight.
All right, buddy. Good talking to you.
Thank you.
Have a good one, sir.
Bye.
Bill.
Yes.
On the line. Bill Barton. How are we doing this morning, sir?
Hello. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am fantastic. I'm pumped up to hear some news about what you've got. I haven't even told anybody. This is all you, bud. You have the next about a minute.
Okay. Well, I just got back from Thailand. I do Muay Thai. We're bringing a program to Arkansas, Westside MMA. It's going to be, not only just traditional Muay Thai, but there's going to be some Muay Baran. I come from a kickboxing background. I was a professional in the States back 20 years ago and came out of retirement 2 years ago and fought professionally in Thailand. I'm 48 years old. I'm just trying not to get old, but you can't learn Muay Thai unless you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I've been going over there for about 4 years. I'm married to a Thai lady in Phuket. I could go on and on about my experiences, but if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Yeah, I got it. Actually, let me go. Okay, Bill, I'm excited that you're here. This was a big news. Rolly had said on Facebook and said there was something big for the biggest and most hated gym or something like that in Arkansas. Man, it's hilarious. But listen, what Rolly has over there, most people are trying to emulate. Okay, it's just fact. What he has, nobody else is being able to do right now, and it's not just him; it's the team of people that he has around him, and that's what is making it very unique. Is the fact that you just don't have a boxing coach, you just don't have a jiu-jitsu coach, you just don't have a wrestling coach. You guys are bringing in. You have a great mix of everybody. So you're saying that here we are. You're bringing a whole new Muay Thai program to Arkansas, to West Side. What are they going to expect in your program? That's what I want. So you're talking to the moms and the dads. Yeah, you're going to have some people, but I'm a business guy. Okay, I've ran my own schools, so I know 90% of the people walking in the door, they may say they want to fight. One day, I might. I don't know yet. They may say, but we know we're just going to get moms and dads and doctors and that's
right.
So explain to them what to expect in your class.
Well, basically, I'll be teaching Muay Thai like they do in Thailand. Muay Thai is not a very complicated martial art as far as martial arts go. In Phuket, where I live, most of the time they have they have 28 gyms on the island. And a lot of people come over there just for fitness. They're not the fighters that you see in the ring, but they're people that want to lose 20, 30 pounds, work their core, learn some effective striking martial arts, which Muay Thai, you can become proficient in about 6 months of real training. But the training that we're going to be doing is, it's traditional Muay Thai. We'll be doing a lot of knee and elbow and clinch work. We'll be doing traditional Muay Thai, kicking. And we'll be using it at Westside as a bridge to get into the grappling. The striking from a distance and getting into the close range. I like to say that Muay Thai is probably more effective in a Tokyo bar than, say, a karate style would be, because it is in-your-face effective. And coming from kickboxing and boxing for a number of years, I'm sold on Muay Thai. I wish I would have found it 30 years ago, but it just wasn't available here in the States. And what we're going to do is going to be, I've trained with some of the best people in the business, from Master Toddy, who's in Las Vegas, who trained Gina Carano and Tito Ortiz and Brandon Vera. I've worked extensively with him, and I've worked with a lot of champions from Bangkok and sparring partners and such. So I'm just excited to get to Little Rock and
Hey, this is what I want to do is I want to get the public here in Arkansas to know who you are. We're going to get you on the phone again next week, but this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
Craig and I, we're going to have to come around. We're going to have to come to one of your classes. Oh, Craig's looking at me.
Yes.
He's like, what are you doing to me?
Oh, awesome.
We're going to come to one of your classes next week sometime, so we're going to have to get a time set up, and then that way we can tell everybody about it on the radio. Real quick, we've got to get going. How many days a week are you guys going to have your program?
Well, we're going to start off with 2 days a week, but for fighters, it could be, we might be working with them a little bit more that are doing the MMA.
Right.
But we're having for the public 2 days a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
At 6:30, it's going to be an hour-and-a-half long class. We like to do a longer class than just an hour, because with Muay Thai, you need more time.
Well, thank you. Welcome to Arkansas. Congratulations on your new partnership, and we'll be looking forward to talking to you and working with you next week. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to y'all. Y'all
Yes,
have
sir.
a great day.
Have a great day, sir.
All right.
Hello?
Caller?
Is there anybody on the phone? Hello? Who's this?
This is Heather.
Heather,
Heather.
can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, you got to talk. You got to talk loud. You're talking to hundreds of thousands of people right now. I just wanted to call you right now. Everybody, this is my sister from Des Moines, Iowa, and today's her birthday.
Yeah!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Heather.
So,
Birthday. Thank
anyway,
you.
I just want to call you real quick while we're on a radio show and just tell you I love you. I miss you. I hope to see you soon. Tell my nephews I love them. And just tell you happy birthday. We got to wrap our show up.
I love you too.
All right, we'll
Thank
see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Have a great day. Have a great time this weekend. Nathan, see you next week. Good luck at
I
Naga,
am
brother.
not impressed with your performance.